Greetings, Big Blue Dog community. I hope that the air conditioner in the background isn't too intrusive, but I wanted to make sure that I did put out another video here. One of the things that I heard on feedback on the AI video, and I do appreciate everybody who gave their feedback there, where I utilized AI to do a conversation back and forth. There were several errors in that conversation. AI does have a tendency to hallucinate and come up with things that aren't accurate, but I knew that going into it. The assumption I had in the beginning was people prefer a human being with opinions and sharing their experiences more than AI. So super glad that the experiment got the feedback it did, and I wanted to thank everyone who participated in that. Today I'd like to focus more on the riding experience of a W800. Now, the reason I specifically single out the W800 is that's what I own. I don't have a W650, although I keep my eyes out for one. If it just happens to come on the market and is affordable and close by, it would be really nice to have one of each, I think. I also have to consider the fact that I've already got 3 motorbikes in my garage, and I'm doing my best to make sure that they get semi-ridden equally. That's definitely not the case. At different times, different years, the different bikes get used at different rates. But I want to make sure that I focus on the W for the channel as much as possible, because it's 100% is what the BBMD community wants to hear about. So I'd like to real quick just talk about the experience, of owning and riding one. There's always there's a lot of chrome on that motorcycle, and there is, but it's not one of those motorcycles in my ownership that requires weekend polishing instead of riding. It's, I keep mine clean, kinda. The reason I say kinda is because I live off of a dirt and gravel road, and that's about a mile every time I go out riding, or 2 miles right out and right in. That's a dirt and gravel road, and so the bike is going to get dirty, it's going to get dusty, it's going to get muddy, and that's just part of where I live. If you live where everything is paved, that's not going to be an issue. The things that I think make the W800 and the W650 and other true parallel twins, and by that I mean the pistons move together with a 360-degree rotating firing order. So it vibrates just the right way. It replicates just the right way a vintage retro motorcycle as a modern retro. It produces exactly the right noise for a 360-degree crank, which the 270 doesn't, in my opinion. The 270, a lot of people say it sounds more like a V, and they go, well, it might be, better balanced, but there's counterweights and there's this, and frankly, I like to remind myself time to time that I'm riding on a tank of gasoline powered by explosions that moves me down the road. And if you make your bike too smooth, I'm thinking of something like the K1600 series from BMW, or the I always call it a Honda Bago, but it's the Goldwing. Six-cylinder inline engines are perfectly balanced, and if that's what you're looking for is perfect balance, those are the bikes you're looking for. But if you're looking for something that lets you know you're riding a motorcycle, the W with its parallel twin is 100% what it is. Firing it up, sitting on the bike and firing it up replicates exactly the feelings that I was looking for when I was looking for a retro motorcycle. It does fast idle for a little bit. It is fuel injected. It does have some modern conveniences and an over-engineered, under-stressed motor So as long as the maintenance is done properly, should be a motor that will outlast all the other components on the motorcycle. Just make sure to keep it clean, that you don't allow parts to rust, and that you change the oils and the fluids and the shims at the right intervals, and everything should be fine. When you start getting the motorbike underway, it creates that sensation I had when I first started riding, that it's a motorcycle you sit on and it kind of disappears underneath you, and the motorcycle and rider become one in the journey. There's a friendship, a kinship between myself and my W. There's a friendship and a kinship between myself and all my motorcycles. The W recreates that nostalgia factor of when I first started riding, and it felt like flying just a few feet off the ground. Even though the tire's in contact, you can feel the road inputs. It is that leaning, the sweeping side to side, just the exhilaration of being propelled through space and time while experiencing the greatest parts of nostalgia and leaving the worst parts of nostalgia, like roadside repairs and things going wrong, cable snapping, chains breaking, things like that, in the rearview mirror. Of course, you do have to maintain the chain 100%, and there are replacement chains, but chains have gotten a lot better since the 60s and early 70s, so it's much more robust of a motorcycle than would have been done by Kawasaki in the late 60s, early 70s. Every time I stop, I get off the motorcycle, and the first thing I do is turn around and look at it. It is an absolutely gorgeous machine to look at, with the right side being a bit more beautiful, with that iconic bevel-driven camshaft that to me is absolutely stunning. The left side doesn't have that, but I think it still is just a beautiful engine. It works extremely well. The lines on the bike are just where they should be, and there's a bit of pride riding around on a motorbike that not everybody has, right? It's not one of those motorbikes where unless you're at the W Rally, almost every time I ride mine, I'm the only one riding a W. The exception to that is my best friend here, Pete. He's got a W, and so W650, and so sometimes we're both riding a W when we go out, and that really attracts a lot of attention too, because people seeing two is much more amazing than just seeing one. And then of course there's people looking at it trying to figure out what it is. Mine no longer says anywhere on the bike except the VIN plate. It doesn't say Kawasaki, because I replaced the factory seat with one from Omega Racer. I picked the comfort seat primarily because of an old tailbone injury. But to sum up, it is the sound, it is the flying sensation, it's the vibration, it's just the perfect amount of nostalgia with the perfect amount of modern reliability that really puts this bike on a whole nother level. I thank you for checking out the video today. If you would like to participate, please do leave me a comment. Liking the video super helps. And if you are so inclined, subscribing to the video really helps the channel as well. Keep the shiny side up, the rubber side down, and keep it wheeled.